All right, welcome back to No Fly Zone with me, Eli, and Syracuse University defensive back John Sweetwood. Today, we are discussing multiple topics on multiple different levels. We're going to be discussing George Floyd. We're also going to be discussing the NBA season and Conor McGregor's retirement, which was a very surprising one, as well as some Carrier Dome names because if you guys didn't know, the Carrier Dome is under reconstruction right now, and they're renaming it. So that's going to be up next in No Fly Zone.
So obviously, since we last did this, a lot has happened, and it has affected all facets of the world we live in. But basically, here in our country, in America, one of our biggest institutional flaws has once again been exposed, and that is racism, and specifically racism connected to police brutality. And I think everyone by now has seen the George Floyd video and read about it and knows about the circumstance. So basically, a lot of things have not given me a new perspective, but shed light and made me understand a lot of things that maybe I didn't completely and fully understand before. I really think the importance of being anti-racist has come into light, where it's no longer good enough to not be racist. Most people are not racist. I don't hate people, but not every time in my life have I outwardly been anti-racist and shown that it is not acceptable. And with everything going on that has been going on, it has been brought to light and made very obvious to me that that is no longer and hasn't been good enough. And people, specifically white people, need to take a stand to be anti-racist. Something Greg Popovich, the coach of the San Antonio Spurs, said that really stood out to me and made a lot of sense is he was talking about how race is an uncomfortable topic. And that is one of the reasons why this country has had so much trouble moving forward and making progress, is because people don't like talking about uncomfortable topics, and uncomfortable topics go away. And to make sure that this doesn't happen, this can't be something that we shed light on for a couple weeks and we protest heavy for a couple weeks and then slowly our minds go elsewhere. Something that was extremely eye-opening to me and gave me a lot of new perspectives was a team meeting that we held over Zoom. And basically, I just heard it right from kids who are my brothers and who are my friends about the differences in their daily lives that I really don't have to think about and I never have thought about. And it really shook me. I had friends, African-American friends, talking about the fact that when they're driving back to school on their 15-hour drive from their home state and their mom says, be safe and let me know when you make it there, the thought actually goes through their heads like, what if I get pulled over and I don't make it there? And that hit me to the core, where I was thinking like, wow, like that's something, like that's real. That's a real problem in this country, that people have to think that way. No one should have to think that way. No one deserves to think that way. And when I was just hearing my brothers and my friends and just kids I love say that stuff, it really showed me. I was like, we need change. Like, we need change. Like, we're all equal. We really are. And no one deserves to feel scared and feel hated. It's not okay. And going back to what Pop said, there isn't time to let up on this, and we can't let it drift away. We have to continue to talk and continue to be uncomfortable if we want to make any change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me personally, I'm not really going to talk too much about it because where I live at, I'm not very affected by it necessarily, just because I live in a really small town in the Midwest. So it's a lot different climate here. But my heart 100% goes out to all those people that are affected by that each and every day. And I can't imagine what they have to go through on a daily basis worrying about something like that. And I think that now it's really good for the country in general, just because it's good to expose our weaknesses and our flaws, and this is one of them that we can fix and make better, so that we can all be unified as one nation in the United States. Um,
And just going one step further on that, I do feel a great sense of this generation making a change,
mhm.
because yes, it has been brought up so many times in the past and exposed so many times in the past, and there have always been protests, and people have always been fighting for these rights, and the right not to be scared of police, and the right not to be hated. Um, and I really do feel like this generation is gonna pass on to the next generation the idea of anti-racism, and the idea of really making a change and making this country really, really change for the better.
Yeah, 100%. I agree 100%. I think we just all need to work together as a country and make a change and figure out how we can do that in a efficient and positive manner to benefit everyone, but especially the African American community, because they're so negatively affected by it right now. So going off of that, onto a little bit of a different subject, the NBA season. They have just announced that teams are going to report to Orlando. There's going to be, I believe, 22 teams. 22 teams. Um,
I think something like that.
so 22 teams. I know there's 17 players per roster, so they're extended rosters. Um, and basically, if you guys are not familiar with how they're going to do this, there is a resort in Orlando that they're going to take over and keep all the players with their families quarantined inside. And basically, they have a bunch of precautionary measures like checking temperatures. They can't leave anywhere except by bus to go to the venues and back. And I also saw kind of a weird but interesting fact. They're wearing rings on their fingers.
I saw that too. I think they
Each
have the
player.
option to.
Okay. Okay. So they got the option to wear a ring that actually checks the temperature of the player to make sure that it never gets to an unhealthy level. So kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out and just say it straight up. I'm not buying any of this.
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Hmm.
I'm just like, there's way too many moving parts. There are so many moving parts to this. Okay, so you're gonna take these 22 NBA teams, whatever, they have 15 players a team, and you're gonna have them live all in this bubble. Just that alone, I can't see. Like, you know what I mean? Like logistically, how is that really gonna work? I know they've provided details, but still, like,
Hmm.
the details have not translated into like direct life. I don't see it making sense. But there are so many questions. And now you're starting to really see um, the idea gaining traction of players who don't want to go back. And that's for multiple reasons. You have a lot of players right now who are concerned about distracting from the Black Lives Matter movement.
Hmm.
You have a lot of players who are concerned about their own health. You have players who are concerned about their family's health. And you have players who probably, frankly, don't want to go from the life they usually live to living
Yeah.
in a hotel room with their family.
Hmm.
So I know they're saying it's going to happen. I know that it's happening, but I'm straight up saying I don't think it is happening.
This is what I'm wondering is how much money is the NBA losing out on, first of all, by not having a season? Because I don't really know what the point is of putting players in risk of getting injured, first of all, because a lot of them are probably not in as good a shape as they would be.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're going to be playing like, what, 15 games and going into the playoffs?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nobody's going to be in the correct shape. Second thing is coronavirus, obviously. It's still there. It hasn't gone away, in
It
case
is
somebody
still
was
there.
wondering.
That's what I don't understand. It's still there. It
Yeah.
really is.
Um, so, and then I'm just hearing all these rumors of, especially it's prevalent in baseball, but these owners are like, yeah, we don't want to lose out on money. And they're trying to make these like wishy-washy deals with people, and it's like why do you need money right now? There's so many people that are out of jobs, and you're a multi-billionaire, and all you want is money. Like, I just
Yes,
want to know.
there are the players. I saw Austin Rivers was trying to make a point that that these players will that they could use this money to make impacts in their communities and with these protests, and that does make sense. But nothing says that every NBA player is going to be doing that. Nothing does say
Yeah.
that. I'm sure a lot would, for sure. I'm sure a
Mhm.
lot would. You see the amenities they got though.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
It's like the NBA players are back to their AAU hooping days with game systems and like ping pong tables. There's no
Yeah.
there's no doubles ping pong allowed. Which made me think
Oh my.
how would NBA players play doubles ping pong? These guys have
They're
wingspans.
huge. I know.
These guys have like 9 foot wingspans, and they're playing
Yeah.
doubles ping pong. Meanwhile, you could be 5'2" and be ridiculous at ping pong and cover the
Mhm.
whole table. That made no sense. That made no sense.
I don't get it. I heard somebody compare it to the ultimate apartment complex.
It basically is. But that's the thing. These guys live in the most beautiful homes with the greatest amenities
Mhm.
and square feet, open house floor plans, just like amazing houses. And you're telling me they're gonna be in a hotel room? And like these hotels already existed. They didn't build them. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's just like suites upon suites.
Mhm.
So what, like LeBron is gonna be like at the end of the hall in a suite, and then JaVale McGee's gonna have like a single bed room,
Yeah.
and what, him and Rondo are gonna be in there together with their family. Like what?
Exactly.
I-
Yeah, it's gonna be like in the movie Elf, where like Buddy is sleeping on that elf bed, and he like doesn't fit on it at all. That's the way it's gonna be like for those guys that are like 7 foot, because they're just going to these small hotel rooms,
Who do you think is
basically.
the first player to break like the bubble curfew, to get exposed for illegally leaving the bubble?
Um, I'm not gonna say anything, but wait, are the Rockets in the playoffs?
Yes, the Rockets are definitely.
Okay, well, I heard from an unknown source that James Harden likes to partake in some things. So I'm gonna guess James Harden. He has no family too, so it's like he's basically gonna be sitting in his room alone, probably playing 2K.
Just to clarify, I think what Eli is trying to say is James Harden is into his exotic dancers and
Yes.
in his exotic dance clubs.
Yes.
I believe his jersey actually may be retired in one in Houston. That's true.
Is it true?
That's true. I've seen that.
Okay.
Not in person. Not in person.
hmm Yeah, so I'm gonna say James Harden probably. Um,
I gotta think for 1 second. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
oh, I'm gonna say something though. It'd be mildly hilarious if they move like some random guy up from the D League, and then he ends up getting the coronavirus and giving it to like LeBron, and then LeBron's just gonna go haywire on Twitter about like this dude on from the D League that's giving everybody coronavirus.
Is Rudy Gobert allowed to come back and play?
I think he should just probably be outlawed from the NBA.
He's gonna come back, touch all the mics again,
Mm-hmm.
and have it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think his teammates want him there.
No. I'm pretty sure he still has a feud going with Donovan Mitchell. Which, like,
Yeah.
why not? Like, it's still too soon for Donovan Mitchell to forgive him. I agree.
Yeah, he needs a minimum of probably at least 8 months.
I was literally just thinking 8 months is the amount of time I would take to get over that.
Yeah. So I looked it up, and it is indeed 22 teams. And I personally don't really watch too much NBA. I just don't watch too much of it. But I did notice. Yeah, so I heard that they were trying to get the Pelicans in there just so Zion could play,
And they did. Yeah, they did.
which I think is pretty funny because it's like he's the only person anybody wants to watch really anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's still the reason I would turn on to watch. By the way, I'm still holding strong with the fact that this isn't going to happen. Don't
Mhm.
let that get
Mhm.
lost. This isn't going to happen. But if it does, but it's not. If it does,
Yeah.
but it is not, I'm Still also sticking with my Clippers championship prediction.
Whoa.
100%.
Where the Clippers ranked?
I have no clue.
Okay, they're second in the West, so not bad.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to go with the Bucks.
And then just to sum up this NBA topic,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think I think Pat Beverly may have said it best in his tweet. Pat Bev said with a bunch of crying, laughing emojis.
Yeah.
He said, he said something along the lines of, let's be real, guys. If King James says we hooping, we hooping.
That's
And
so true. That's so
that's
true.
my mentality the entire time. If LeBron wants this to happen, realistically, LeBron's probably like one of 5 guys who wants to go to Disneyland, live in this thing, and try to win his championship.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably like 5 players.
Yeah.
The rest of them are just like sitting at home, like texting in their group chats, like, "Bro, can you believe like Bron's making us go back there?"
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like the team captain for the NBA, and he's calling a captain's practice.
Exactly.
LeBron,
And we can't.
It's LeBron's playoffs.
It is, and we can't forget that LeBron is still trying to beat Michael Jordan. LeBron is he doesn't want to come out and say it, but he's in a feud with Michael Jordan. Everyone knows it.
The Last Dance kind of just confirmed for everyone that MJ is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And so, LeBron was sitting there watching the whole time, like, Disney playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. He was. And this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. LeBron basically owns the league. He makes pretty much every choice. He definitely owns the Lakers at this point because he's gotten like 3 coaches fired. He just didn't like them. If he doesn't want to, if somebody like takes his, locker whenever he walks in the locker room, they're getting canned.
For sure.
So
it's LeBron's league, and everyone else is just playing in it.
It is. It is. Okay, so that's enough NBA. I'm tired of talking about it. But what I'm not tired of talking about is Conor McGregor.
I mean, to be honest, that it was a couple things. It was devastating to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was very upset by it. But then I quickly remembered that he has pulled this game like 4 times in the last 3 years. So I don't believe any of it. You see all these UFC fighters are feuding with Dana White right now. He doesn't want to pay any of them.
Mm-hmm.
None of them want to fight anymore for him. So the fight wasn't really there for Conor right now. I can't really think of anyone who he wants to fight who that's the right fight for his opponent. Yeah, Conor probably wants to fight Jorge Masvidal or Usman or Justin Gaethje, but none of those guys, what do they get out of fighting him? They get probably a nice paycheck, but in terms of rankings and in terms of ratings and in terms of legacy, a win over Conor McGregor right now isn't the same thing it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's not. He's still my guy. He's still my favorite fighter, but that's the truth. I do not think he is retired. I think this is a bluff, and I think he will be back. And he will be back to fight Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we called that in the last episode. Oh, wait. Did we call that? Yeah, we did call that in the last episode. All I want to say is that fighters are retired until their next fight. So I don't really know why you're saying you're retired because, you're retired for 8 months until you just fight again. Doesn't make much sense to me.
We'll let him call it a retirement.
We'll let him call it. Okay. But I do have some Conor McGregor stats. So if he does end up retiring, his career stats. So he was 22, 4-0 for record. 18 of those via knockout, 1 via decision, 2 by submission. And he's the richest MMA fighter in history. He's a billionaire. And he's actually got a really interesting success story coming up from being a plumber. Did you ever hear about that story?
Yeah. Lived in a spare room in his mom's house.
Yeah.
Welfare checks from the Irish government.
Right. So he's had a great career. I hate to see him go though.
Yeah, and if this truly is, this is the last thing I'll say. If this truly is If he's done, if he's retired, he changed the sport of fighting and the sport of UFC for good, and made the biggest difference in combat sports of anyone I could think of lately. He elevated the UFC status so high while also elevating his celebrity, and he brought a lot of new fans to fighting, including myself. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Connor. He's definitely the biggest pimp in the UFC.
For sure. For sure.
Whenever you have a walk that's named after you, I think that you're basically a pimp.
That works.
Oh shoot. Okay, so now for a segment, our first segment actually ever. We're introducing that. Carrier Dome names. So for those of you that have been sleeping under a rock, John plays for Syracuse, and their field, the Carrier Dome, it's being renovated, correct?
It is. It is.
So it's being renovated, and they were asking. I saw a news article. I don't know if they were being serious or not, but they were asking for names. So you want to start this off?
Yeah. So I have two themed ones. I'll give you my football during football season. Dino's Dome.
Dino's Dome.
I mean, that's catchy.
That's pretty catchy.
That's catchy.
But where does the Dino come from?
Our head coach Dino Babers.
Oh, okay.
Tripping.
Evidently, I'm not a Syracuse football fan. So my first one is the Dior Dome with 2 R's.
Oh, woo. That's
Let me
not
tell you.
bad.
Let me tell you why. Dior. Dang, what's his last name?
Johnson.
Johnson. Thank you. Committed to Syracuse. He's a sophomore. He's a basketball player. If you guys don't know him, look up his highlights.
Ranked point guard in his class.
Yeah. AKA most hated. Let's just go ahead and name it after him because we all know that if he wasn't from New York, he probably would not have been committed to Syracuse. He probably would be going with his boy Josh Christopher to ASU. Just saying.
You calling out Boeheim's recruit?
I had to. I had to.
All right. Well, I'm gonna support my guy,
Okay.
Jimmy Boeheim, and I'm gonna say during basketball season, we strip off the giant logo that says Dino's Dome, maybe with a picture of Dino involved in it. Maybe the O could be his head.
Yep.
Boeheim's bucket.
Okay, that's a good one. Boeheim's bucket.
Boeheim's bucket. For one side of the stadium could say Dino's Dome, and the other could say Boeheim's bucket. And then one could just say lacrosse.
Lacrosse. I think if we're gonna do that though, we should just put their faces. Just put their faces and then put the word dome next to it.
Oh yeah, they both have such great faces that you have to incorporate them into the logos.
They do. My second one is the John Sweetwood Dome. So
that's not a great one. That's not a great one.
Well, that's what we all want. The fans want it. Okay, let's be honest here. No, but in reality, just the dome.
The dome.
That's it.
That'd be pretty tough. I could mess with the dome. I've seen some talk of the stadium. Definitely not. That's like stadium's like what they would call like your user franchise Madden stadium. The stadium.
Yeah.
One thing I was thinking of proposing. So this is my last one. So the new dome, I believe the roof is still going to be white like the old dome, but perhaps we change it to orange for obvious reasons. I think a pretty simple but tough name for the dome would be the Big Orange. I mean, they call NYC the Big Apple. So why not call Syracuse's dome the Big Orange?
That's actually pretty good. But I like it, but I feel like then you would just have to make the whole entire dome orange.
Yes, that would have to that is incorporated in that idea.
Here's another question. What shade of orange? because it's gonna deteriorate over time,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
So do we make it the exact same color?
Yes, we make it the exact
We'll
same
make
color.
it the exact same color. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I think I like the idea of switching it per season. So like we have Dino's Dome during football season and the
I really
Bayham
like.
Dome.
I think I may be onto something with that idea.
Yeah, you might
I might
be.
get some cash for that.
Yeah, I wonder why more teams don't do that.
Well, teams got like nicknames for their places,
That's true.
but yeah, we could be trailblazers. We could be the first to do it with their
Yeah.
face.
Or just put their face on it and like nothing else, just their face on the side of it.
The 315 Onondaga County would approve.
Who's that?
Syracuse.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not a New Yorker.
Clearly.
Not a New Yorker. I'm not a New Jerseyer either.
I don't even
So
New Jersey.
wait, you're from New Jersey, aren't you?
Yeah. I grew up
Okay.
in Massachusetts. I was born in Massachusetts, grew up there, and moved here.
Okay.
Lived here for longer though.
John Cena. They call you John Cena?
Negative.
Okay, so that's the end of today's episode. We kept this short and light for you guys just because last episode was a little bit long, but we should be back to little flex. Are those wait, you're a biker now, aren't you?
I'm a rookie biker.
Okay, you're a rookie biker. Um, Lance Armstrong Jr. So are we gonna be back to weekly? We're gonna try to do weekly.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try. We're gonna try to do something.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best. We're gonna be busy
I'm
though.
bad at that whole schedule thing.
Yeah. That's the D1 football player life right there. But yeah, guys. So Eli, John, we're signing off.